Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HOTFIX. Today, we are going to talk about it's YouTube copyright again. This is what the whole kind of HOTFIX is going to be about. Obviously, it relates to a very recent example, and that is the Guise of the Wolf, and I'm going to use this word again, Mr. Kirioth, fiasco, because that is in fact my favourite word. I've also got a hat on my head because I'm saving you from the terrible state of my hair, which I'm going to get cut as soon as HOTFIX finishes, because I look like a bum, and I cannot have that. So, Mr. Kirioth has the details, but I'm going to give you a really brief rundown, but he's going to give you the info because I'm a cabbage, but I do know some stuff. So basically what's happened is a games company, in fact no, I'll just let Mr. Kirioth do it because we're not repeating stuff.
Well, you remember a while ago there was the Day One Gary's incident where Total Biscuit did a review of the game and the developers didn't like it, so they had the video taken down by filing a copyright claim. And it was widely acknowledged that that was, bullshit and you can't do that. Well, it's happened pretty much exactly the same thing again with a slightly, just an added amount of insanity this time. He did a review of Guise of the Wolf and he said it was buggy and terrible and you shouldn't buy it. And the developers had it taken down using a copyright claim. I think the PR guy for Total Biscuit then emailed them and said, "Excuse me, why have you taken this down? It's under fair use, etc., etc." To which they said, "We didn't like your review." Tough shit, essentially. And this was then displayed to the world as the email of them saying, yes, we did take it down. They then claimed it was fake and have been gone on a rampage of mentalness ever since, claiming blackmail and claiming they're going to sue him and all kinds of stuff. Photoshop, yeah, that was the best thing. They're also a huge self-investment company as well, which was quite fun.
Although actually, right, no, I see people have been taking the piss out of them for that, but have you seen where they're based? They're based in Jordan. So they've got them oil dollars. They've got them oil dollars, man. And you know what, actually?
They've got the oil dollars, but they haven't got the ability to make a good game. So.
No, but I tell you what, I've got a little bit of information about these people, like Arabs in the... Well, not just Arabs, but people in like the oil-rich countries. I spoke to a guy, right, who was a very wealthy guy, and he had a son, right, and he could design games. Because I was having a conversation with this geezer, and he's like, oh, you've got to... I'm telling him about the YouTube channel and all this stuff, and he's like, oh, my son makes games. And I'm like... Does he? What does he make? Well, he gave me a web address and whatnot, and I went back and checked it out. I can't remember what this is because it was ages ago, but basically, that doesn't matter, but basically the game was just a puzzle game. It was just like it was like Bejeweled kind of thing. It was like just a little crazy puzzle game. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And he said he's actually got quite heavy investment from places like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, that type of...
What?
Because they absolutely love that style of game. Like, for some reason, they love it. And, of course, we all know they've got tons of money, so they throw money at it. And there was also this thing about something to do with the family structure and the amount of cash that they've actually got, where they give... I mean, this might be totally wrong. I'm like trying to scrape this back out of my memory, but they give money to, like, the younger... family members, and they have to go out and make more. I don't know, it's a bit weird, but basically they like those type of puzzle style games, because I was quite flabbergasted that game could even get any kind of investment. So Guise of the Wolf, isn't that a puzzle first person game?
It is basically a first person puzzle, yeah. So that's actually that does fit quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
although the way they've been handling the way they've been handling themselves, though, it sounds like the people who are behind, or at least the people who are dealing with the Total Biscuit issue, have no idea what they're doing. Maybe they are in a position where they've never really had to have someone, they've never had someone stand up to them before, and so they don't know how to deal with it, or they think they can just bully them into, going away, which it's not really going to happen, is it? Not on YouTube, not on the internet, especially.
No.
But...
Well, this is the wider issue. This is the wider issue we're talking about. We're not just talking about that one specific case. What we're talking about in the HOTFIX
it's just a good example.
Is how this is like a bit of a problem, because you can effectively censor content on YouTube, whether you like it or not. I mean, if you were the Guise of the Wolf team, you could, what were they, fun creators or fun team?
Yeah.
If they wanted to take that video down, okay, well, they could do that, but then they could just say nothing. So to even engage in and respond to somebody who we know is a volatile character, and he's going to start spreading this all over the place, because at the end of the day, now this is the beauty with YouTube, it doesn't really matter if you piss off like a developer or you piss off a publisher, because you're not getting your money off them. It doesn't rely on them. You can still get access to the game because you're covered by the copyright agreements and such of your network. They protect you. And even like with a managed channel, which is always what I believe he is, he's got even more protection. So it's just like, it's a bit ridiculous, but I think the underlying issue is how easy it is to kind of censor this type of stuff. Now, there are some distinctions that need to be made, because there are people who are self-professed critics. Okay, so you've got people like Total Biscuit and God knows what, who give critique on a game, yeah? Or give their personal opinion on a game, right? They have massive fan bases, so fan bases tend to agree with them, yeah? Now, that means that they've got quite a big influence on the success of that game. You know, a lot of times I've seen games... Blood Bowl is a good example. When the first Polaris Blood Bowl League happened, Blood Bowl was in the top 10. It was actually beating Skyrim at one point, and it's like, how the hell? That's because the reach of these people is massive when it's combined.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is you have these different style of channels, like you get entertainment channels. I'm just talking to you about YouTube specifically, and then you get these like review type critique channels. Now, I think we're in a unique position because we're kind of a bit of both, right? I think we're a bit more entertainment than we are the critique stuff, but we're a bit of both. I mean, we do HOTFIX, and this is not... Well, I guess you could say this is entertainment, but this is more like a factual discussion, intellectual kind of show that we do.
Yeah.
I think, though, so essentially what happens is, we've gone over this before, but I'm just going to go over it again just in case people have forgot. But there's a content ID system, so you can claim stuff. So if I make a game, Kieran makes a video on it, and he says this game's shit, and I see the video, I'm like, fuck you. So it's in a content ID system. I've added that, and I claim the video, right? I either remove his adverts or I get the video taken down. Okay. Now the reason why I can do that is because I own the footage, like it's my product sort of thing. The problem is YouTube does not say, oh, here's a claim, and then go to the person who made the video. Would you like to make a counterclaim while the video is still live? It doesn't. To cover its own tracks, it just instantly takes whatever action the the attacking party wants to happen. So if I want my video taken down, it gets taken down until it's resolved. And actually, NCSoft have been massive wankers about this as well, because I made a video on Guild Wars 2. This was a video that's over a year old now. It was me discussing what happened to Guild Wars 2. So I spoke about, it was a critical video, which seems to be the fucking running theme with all of this. I spoke about the game and spoke about why I think it didn't do as well, why I thought it didn't do as well as it should have done, because I thought it should have done really well. You know, I outlined some issues with the class systems, you know, the lack of abilities and all the rest of that stuff. Not the inherent lack of abilities, but the lack of... But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, the details of that. It doesn't matter. So they claimed that video, right, through Content ID pretty much instantly. As soon as the, the whole crap was going on in December with the fucking managed affiliate channels and all that stuff, yeah? So that comes straight in, bang. I claim it. Well, like, I don't acknowledge the claim, I counter the claim, and I say, look, this is made, you know, it's fair use, blah, blah, blah. Polaris is such a good network, they provide you with all the legal material you need, so you send that through to them and say, look, you know, they just are like, bollocks, we're not listening to you. They don't like the video. They do not like that video because it's very, what's the word? It's not argumentative, it's sort of, what's the word?
Well, it's critical, isn't it?
It splits the opinion down the middle, because if you look at it, it's got like thousands of likes and thousands of dislikes. They're very similar. Yeah. But if you search for Guild Wars 2 on YouTube, that's like one of the top videos that shows up. I think Angry Joe's review might beat it, but then after that, obviously his review is quite positive, but how you can review an MMO, I don't know. So what I'm going to say is they released the claim a couple of days ago, but I don't think they did it willingly. I think they claimed it and then knew they couldn't defend it, and then they just left it for the set period of time. And then the YouTube just automatically, that's saying that they're not going to contest it anymore. So then I get the rights to monetize my own video again, which is just totally ludicrous. But they fucked me over, right? I'm not going to say how much money that video makes, but it's one of the bigger videos on the channel. Like, consistently gets views and hits all the time. It's like one of these videos you can like rely on, you know. And I've been starved the income of that for nearly 3 months, and it's like, that's ridiculous. That is totally ridiculous. But they have the power to do that. Now, what would that do to me in that period of time if I was still actively making Guild Wars 2 videos? I would not make them, because I knew I could not make money off them, because they fucked me over again. And that's not right. And that's only one example. I'll let you come in, Kiri, because my voice is getting destroyed, because I think I'm getting a bit of a throat infection or something. It's going to ruin me. And I said I wasn't going to talk as much, but I can't help it. Fuck. So just come in.
Yeah, shut up. So the main issue with this is the fact that when it comes to copyright claims and content ID claims, YouTube automatically favours the person who is making the claim. So if, as Styles just said, with the example of Guild Wars 2, it was claimed by NCSoft, and although you can counter that and say, look, no, this is perfectly fair, you're not allowed to do this, they can just ignore it. There's absolutely no pressure on them to get it sorted out. unless it's like a big public drama case like Guys of the Wolf and Total Biscuit, they can literally just ignore it for as long as they want. Because the longer they leave it, the longer that video is either not earning money, depending on...
You've hit a very good thing there. Why is it a public drama? Because of the size and the ethos of that channel. It would not be a public drama if it happened to us, because, we might... Like the Guild Wars 2 thing, what the hell can I do? I cannot go on Reddit. Well, not go on Reddit, but I cannot put bait posts out on Twitter to try and get people to make Reddit posts, because nobody fucking follows me. I don't have that audience. But these, the good thing about him is it's a good move for everybody involved in YouTube, because it's sort of...
it sheds light on the problem, and it's the thing is that it's a much more it's a much more widespread problem than I think people think it is, because it's only when you have these big cases of someone blatantly abusing the copyright system that people go, well, hang on, why are they allowed to do that? Why has YouTube allowed them to claim this video and get this video removed, or make it so that this person makes no money off this video that they made themselves? It's only when you have a really big case that is actually shown to be the case. But it happens all the time, to smaller channels especially, because it is nothing to a developer or a publisher to go to a video and just send out a claim form. That's nothing to them. They do it, and then your video is effectively gone for like months on end. And if you're a smaller channel, what can you do? You can contact them and say, look, what's this about? We've got fair use. We're able to make videos on this. You said people could make videos and monetize them, so why have you claimed it? They can either respond with, well, we don't agree with your video, or we don't think you have the right to use it, or they can just ignore it.
Well, I think
even if they know they're wrong, they can still ignore it for months.
As well. We've got to make another distinction as well, because there are... You know what? I'm just going to turn my light off because it's fucking... I don't know what's going on. It's too bright. You get down here. You get off. Well, now
Adventures
it's really dark,
of the light
whatever,
bulb.
screw it. So, you have to remember that we're talking about when the game developer or the publisher claims the video, not when it's like a random claim. Because I've got a really good example here.
Yeah.
You probably heard me clicking, but I was looking through the channel's copyright strike, well, not strikes, we don't only copyright strike, but the copyright claim department thing. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon review, is it pure? That was claimed. Now, that was claimed by the company that owns the Long Tall Sally. Long Tall Sally, get you where, but you get that song. They claim that because the song's in the video, because it's in the game. And it's like, that's where we covered this before, but that's where the ID system just goes completely to shit, because Ubisoft Ubisoft are fine, but that music, it's been claimed, and it's like, okay, you've ruined there. You can't. This isn't something which makes us any money. It doesn't get any views. The video doesn't now, and it's only got like 2,800 views. It's not something which is.
But mega. It shows off the flaw in the system, and actually,
But that's not what we're talking about here. That's what I want to say. We've already spoken about that, and loads of people have. What we're talking about is how you can systematically censor content that you do not like about your game if you are some unscrupulous fucking asshole company, because you either don't understand the way these things work. So to go out and attack Total Biscuit is like fucking suicidal. Why would you do that? Because you're just going to get destroyed. To even take down one of his videos is also suicidal. But you can understand if you sit there and watch this guy who gets hundreds of thousands of views on a video saying your game is absolutely shit, because that's what he said, because the game was shit. You'd have to be an idiot to say it was good. Shit, shit, shit. You sit there and think, well, I can press this big red button, and it just... I also slammed my desk and my camera fell down. You can press this big red button, and it's gone. So that's what you do.
The bizarre thing is, it's like because the system does favour the person making a claim and not the content creator, which, by the way, I think is bollocks for a start.
Oh, yeah.
The bizarre thing is that when you look at the companies who do this kind of thing, especially the small developers, like the guys who did Day One Gary's Incident, like the guys who did Guys of the Wolf, they got the video taken down. Guys, they got the video taken down because it was gaining a lot of hits. A lot of people watching it and going, wow, this game's totally shit. So they're taking it down because they don't want the bad press on the game. But in taking down a video that is getting a ton of hits about your game, you then open yourself up to the fact that the people who...
Shit, hang on, I'll pull my headset out. I always do this. This fucking wheel on the wheel on the keyboard. Wheel on the thing, I roll it forward and then roll back. Yeah, but no, this is called something. It's when you try to cover something up and it gets far worse because you've actually tried to cover it up.
Is it what is it? Is it Streisand?
Barbara Streisand.
No, that might be something else. But it's like...
Effect.
I kind of don't...
Hang on,
I know it's a thing. I just don't know if it's the right thing.
Streisand Effect is a phenomenon whereby an attempt to hide, remove, or censor a piece of information has the unintended consequence of publicising the information more widely.
Oh yes,
usually facilitated by the internet. So yeah,
yeah. But I mean, that to me is like, that's crazy thinking. I would never look at a video that is like slagging off something I've done that's got hundreds of thousands of views and go, oh well, if I had this video removed, people won't know that the thing I've done is shit. Of course they're going to know. Because for it to get to that point in the first place, it means a ton of people have to know about it, and those people will then say, that thing that was totally crap, they've got rid of it.
This is such a big problem. This is such a big problem because, before when I spoke about getting these emails sent through with a game, and it's a review document, tells you what to look at. It's like, the problem with YouTube is you don't get any of that. Well, if you do, they just chuck it in the bin like I do, because you just do what you like. You're so independent and insulated from the attacks that they cannot really affect your income. They can by bringing videos down and doing stuff like that, but they can't. Like, if you imagine IGN, if they went and slated EA for a game, EA, they would be like, Mr. IGN, we're not very happy with what you've just said, so we're going to have a fucking word, and then things could get a bit bad for them. They might start sending their stuff to GameSpot, for example, or a competitor or something. I mean, they would always get the stuff, but they might lose out on certain privileges and stuff like that, because that's the way business works, yeah? And I think what's happened with this case, with Disguise of the Wolf, is they have attempted to censor something which should never ever be censored, because it's just gonna in every single, especially the channel they censored, because it's got a history of doing exactly the same thing with fucking that other stupid game.
And the thing is as well, it's not, they shouldn't be attempting to censor it, partially because, well, look at the channel, you don't want to try and censor something that size, partly because if you make a shit game, right, if your game's totally shit and you've released it knowing it's shit, if you haven't even, like, one of the things they didn't even normalise the audio levels. So some people, when they spoke, were like at a whisper, other people shouted down your ear. Now, that's a basic thing, right? If you've released a game where you can walk through, like, trees and rocks, get stuck in scenery, the audio is fucked and the gameplay's terrible, and someone says, what the hell is this? This is terrible. Don't censor them. Fix the fucking game. Because if you censor them, immediately, people are going to go, oh, look, they've been censored because the game's so terrible. First of all, you shouldn't do it. I mean, that's just scumbag, idiot behaviour from people who don't actually want to make a game. They just want to get money.
To fix it, it is. They just want to get money.
But also,
come out and say, we're very sorry, we are, even if they're not, we are actively working on repairing this right now. Thank you for highlighting these issues. Hopefully, we can have a review, not a review, but like a better build of the game out, a patch out in the coming weeks, right? That's what they should say. Not, oh, let's just hide it because we're no longer working on this game. So because they've made conscious decisions during the development of that game to make that game shit. Or they've just employed people who are idiots. Maybe they did a lot of outsourcing. This goes on quite a lot.
It could be anything.
This goes on quite a lot. And I mean, no disrespect to these people, but there are a lot of places you can go, places like Fiverr, for example, where you can hire somebody to do something totally ludicrous that would cost thousands of dollars if you wanted anybody with any worth to do it. Like, you can get somebody to do some programming for you. It's like to get somebody to make you a bespoke program. Get somebody to design some sort of a model for your game or something like that. That's not. You can't just go out and fucking pay somebody $5 for that, or $10 or $20. But I think maybe some of that does go on, because it's so cheap. Like, I know there's like an industry in India and Pakistan and places like that where there's a lot of people who are educated, but they're not the best, you know what I mean? And they can sort of just churn out crap. And I know that this is kind of a wider problem with the game industry as well. Some things have been outsourced quite a lot to other places, and it results in, like, you would have a guy, let's say, some sort of lead programmer, and he's on $100,000 a year, probably more. I mean, I don't know what the wages are, but it would be a lot. And he's literally been outsourced to India to a guy, and they're paying him $30,000, but the quality's not the same. It is worth the $100,000 sort of thing, unless it's a really good guy from India, which it could be. But I think, like, I really don't know what they were expecting to achieve. Maybe it is some sort of a cultural difference. Maybe because they are. If they are an Arabic company, maybe they're of like a mindset where this is an acceptable way to behave, sort of thing.
They're going to learn very quickly that's not the case. But it's like the thing is that the way they behaved is...
Even Maker has backed Total Biscuit, and like they should.
Well, yeah, they would.
And they have to.
And
honestly, guys, legally they have to. This isn't like some PR stunt by them. He is a managed channel, so if he gets copyright strikes against him or anything like that, it goes on the network.
The network
if the network
does,
takes so many, everybody in a network loses the ability to remove... to display ads and make money. So their legal team would just destroy anybody
Gonna
about
be
it
all
because
over
they
it
know
like a
everything
rash.
about it. Yeah, it's like you cannot take on a legal team like that because they know everything about that industry. You know everything.
Yeah.
You can't just get some random lawyer to come in and have a go because he's just not gonna. What's he gonna do?
But I mean, here's the thing: it's like the way they've behaved is completely unacceptable, and any halfway decent developer wouldn't behave like that because that's just arsehole behaviour. But the fact is that it shouldn't be possible for someone to do that in the first place. They've behaved like morons, yes, but they behave like morons because there's a system in place where you can be an idiot and get rewarded for it, right? Okay, their reputation's totally trashed. They're never going to be able to release a game again. They're never going to be taken seriously.
They'll make a new company, that's all they'll do, and you'll never know.
But they've got the video taken down, which is what they set out to do in the first place. Why is that even possible?
Is it still down? Is the video still down?
Yeah, it's still down.
Let's have a look.
So, I mean, they've done all this stuff. I mean, yeah, they've behaved like idiots. They've tried to blackmail. They've threatened to sue, all this kind of thing. That is actually kind of irrelevant because at the end of the day, what they set out to do was get rid of the video that Total Biscuit made. And if you go on his channel, as far as I know, I mean, I checked earlier and I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but actually I've searched for it, and there's a fucking YouTube channel called the YouTube Drama Alert, and they've made a video about it. It's got like 68,000 views or something crazy.
Yeah, so there you go. There's 70,000 people or so who've now seen it. But it's like the system has allowed these people to like unlawfully remove a video that someone else has made, and it's still down. Even though they've been proved to be wrong, even though they've been proved to like, it's a system where
that's the problem because they can't.
This is the thing.
You can't have somebody looking at all the claims because there's too many coming through. So
there's like what is it? There's like 8,000 hours of footage being uploaded to YouTube every hour. It's something. It's stupid. I can't remember what the stat is. It's something absolutely mental. But the fact of the matter is that there is so much content being uploaded to YouTube on a daily basis that you could not possibly have a staff big enough. Because even if you had like 1,000 employees looking at this, there still wouldn't be enough time in the day.
Hang on, there's 100 hours of video. This is off the YouTube press statistics page. 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute.
Oh well, that's more than what I said then, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be like that's quite a lot.
Jesus Christ! So
that would be like that's quite a lot.
you cannot. There's absolutely no physical way to have that many. To have enough people and a system in place where every copyright strike, because it's not just when Total Biscuit gets hit. It's not just when NCSoft doesn't like Star's Guild War 2 video. It's all the time. It happens all the time to everybody.
Listen, I was waiting for WildStar. Do you know why I have not decided to make any content on WildStar? Because of all that shit with, honestly, because of all that. So you could say, well, okay, that's they've won. They've stopped you, Mr. Stylo, so they've like censored you away. I don't think they have, because I've played the beta of that game, and it's actually fairly decent. And if I was to start making videos on it, I would show the game off in a positive light. But they've lost that now, and I'm just like, it's not worth the risk. I think it's Nexon. Isn't Nexon the parent company? Because people were saying to me that it could possibly be Nexon doing this, but the claim did come from NCSoft, so that's why
it's basically.
And weirdly, Nexon sponsor a Premier League football team's bench. You know what they sit on? You know where the subs sit on?
Yeah.
It says Nexon. No, hang on. No, they're not. They got relegated last year, so not even Premier League.
Because the bench was no good. But that's the copyright thing is that like it's a bad system that punishes content creators even when they shouldn't be punished, and as a result poisons the relationship between the content creators and the developers or publishers. Because there have been cases as well where things have been hit when they shouldn't have been hit.
Yeah.
When there was the big content ID copyright apocalypse, like in December, that was like everything was getting hit all the damn time, and companies are actually coming out and saying, "Yeah, no, we don't want that. We say on our website you can make videos on our stuff and monetize them. So I don't know why your video has been taken down." I mean, it's like that is inherently massively flawed. People who have no right to take down the videos
get their own game claimed as well.
Yeah.
Game. Like, what the fuck?
People who don't want the videos being claimed apparently still occasionally get them claimed. So you've got people who are unlawfully doing it. People who don't want to do it, having it forced upon them even though they didn't ask for it. And as a result, content creators as a whole are we're kind of sitting here going, yeah, but What the hell is going on?
You know
Why
what,
has he
right?
done that? Why has that happened? What is
Yeah,
it? And there's no answer. YouTube are never going to give an answer.
Like, look, this is another way of looking at it as well. Like, you've got Nintendo. We'll never cover a Nintendo game on the channel because I have copyright claims off Nintendo for something. It was a hotfix. I think it was a little bit of Luigi footage or something instantly claimed. Like they are a company like who actively shut down people who make content on their games, which is totally, absolutely, 100% crazed. Because there's now no way I would make I probably wouldn't make content on that anyway. But there is now no way. You know, like maybe in the past, you know, there was a time where I was like, well, maybe I should buy all of the consoles. Maybe I would have had a Wii U. No, it's never going to happen because it's a stupid decision. But that's kind of going off the topic. I think what I want you guys to do watching this, I want you to give me your opinion on this situation and how, like, what kind of like the aftermath of it. Do you think it's positive for YouTube? I'm going to say I think it's very positive for YouTube because when you get people standing up like that, they've got a big voice and people start hearing that, and you know you get all the other stuff. Whereas if it happens to smaller channels and they start shouting about it, they don't really have the instant impact unless a large channel helps them out, sort of thing. Which I guess you could kind of say did happen with us to some extent with the YouTube comment system, because we got information about that and we got that promoted by people like Angry Jones, stuff like that. So we did get our information out there, like more so than we would have done if we were just on our own, sort of thing. But yeah, I think this kind of does go into another argument as well, where you've got these YouTube channels, and I think some of them are not entirely aware of the power they have. And the reach they have and how they can make things change, and some of them do abuse that, but that's another topic we're going to. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to know what you think on this whole Guys of the Wolf situation, the whole situation. In fact, I want you to know. I want to know what you think about the Streisand Effect, because that's what it is. With when game companies think, you know, developers, publishers, whoever they may be, can just literally get rid of a video which is giving them bad press and hope it will go away.
It never does.
It never does, because this is not a dictatorship. It is not North Korea. It is the internet.
It does not work like that. Stop it.
All right, guys. So I'm Stylosa. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and he's Kirioth. You can follow him. He's @Kirioth. Although he's a bit of a retard and he thinks that I'm Stylosa on Twitter as of last
I know,
night.
years of doing this, and I've never done that before. And for some reason, I was just hyped up for playing Titanfall. I'll blame that.
He's crap at it. I'll never forget.
Get lost.
No, it's actually not that bad. Actually, I'll give him. I
was going to say, take a look at my profile. Oh no, wait,
it's not even yours. Oh dear. You can take a look at my profile though if you want. We'll catch you next time, people.